Hello, peeps. So it's been requested that I do a little Pally video to explain a couple of things about the Paladin healer. So here goes. So just a few things as far as building goes. Dex and Wisdom are a must. Dexterity for crit severity, Wisdom for healing. So those are pretty straightforward. Not all of my gear is best, I don't think, but it's pretty good. I'm wearing mostly Lion's Guard stuff. I have Darks on my utilities. Got Radiance on my offense. I'm using Vorpal. I'm using Bark Shield. 2 crit rings from Tower. I am using the Scarf and the Sash from Tales of Old, and got a couple other Tales pieces as well. Swap that. Normally on healer, I either use Frozen as my main or Charm of the Serpent. So that's that. Let's see. So now we'll go to powers real quick. Mostly I use Valorous Strike for my main at will. When I'm doing like solo content, I'm on a different build, and I'll do Radiant Slam to get quicker, get over to a monster quicker. And then the other 2 spells I use, depending on situations, are Cure Wounds if I'm going full heal, or if I'm like in a group like, say, for example, Insurgencies, where I'm just standing in the middle, getting hits on things from afar, I'll use Divine Fulmination, or like in Octuria in Lair of the Mad Mage, I will use this as well, just so I can still be hitting her at a distance, so I can stay by my little mimic. Okay, so that's that. For class features, I'm using Composure, and I'm using Aura of Restoration. Feats, pretty much this is standard for all Healadins, so up, up, down, up, up. Some use Convalescence. I do not like to use that. Basically because if you are with another Paladin and they use a shield, this is going to screw up your healing really bad. Like if they use this daily Shield of Faith, that's going to really mess you up. You're not going to put shields on people anymore. You're going to just do like a heal over time. And when people really need that shield on Hallister when he's about to zap you with electricity, you're screwed if another Pally or yourself happens to use Shield of the Faith. So don't do it. Use this one. It's much safer. That's my suggestion. So dailies, Lay on Hands, I use pretty much only in Lair the Mad Mage, because whoever is getting grabbed by the cocoon, I need to heal them, especially if it's the tank and I can't heal them all the way up in time. This will heal them completely. The only thing with this is it's a line of sight, so you have to make sure there's nobody in between you and that other player, or you'll randomly lay on hands somebody else, as far as I know. So that's that. And then the other one is Shield of the Faith, of course, for protection. When I'm healing, I don't use any of the DPS spells. When I'm soloing on my DPS loadout, I'll use Radiant Charge for multi-mobs or Divine Judgment on a single target or whatever. So that's that. So at-wills. Sacred Weapon is a must for getting Divinity Regeneration, and if you're healing, if you're on a heal build, that's pretty important to keep your healing up. The other one I use most of the time is Circle of Divinity. Again, that's also going to help your healing and stuff like that and restore divinity. So also a must-have most of the time. The other one that I use all the time is Divine Touch. It's a really good heal. Right now it's working with one of the feats to have a crit. In mod 19, it's going to change so that both major heal spells, Divine Shelter and Divine Touch, are going to be doing that crit proc, which is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But for now, just Divine Touch does in mod 19 and before, whatever. Not mod 19, mod 18. 18. Okay. And Divine Shelter, it's a nice one. It's AoE. It uses a bit more divinity, so you have to use it sparingly. When I'm in Tower of the Mad Mage for Tower of the Mad Mage, for example, I will use this on phase 3 when we're spreading out all over the place, and then towards the end of the fight I'll go back to Circle of Divinity once I know we're done all the spreads and everything, so that I can get my divinity back in time for Sunfall. So that's that. Another okay one that you can use is Banishment. If you're doing a lot of trash mobs with people, you can stun the monsters. You can also use Burning Light, which is a really nice AoE. When you're doing pure healing, you're not probably going to use those, so just try to stick with Sacred Weapon, Circle of Divinity, Divine Touch and or Divine Shelter. In places like Castle Ravenloft, I use Divine Shelter because at the end fight, when Strahd grabs somebody up into the air and bites them, Divine Touch doesn't heal them because it's a ground attack, so their feet have to be touching the floor. So I use this one to get them free, or to heal them so they don't get choked to death or whatever, bled out by his biting. Okay, so Boons, pretty straightforward too. Also, mostly all power, hit points. For the tier 5, Blessed Touch for outgoing healing, and Severe Criticism for extra crit severity for your heals. I also use on the top tier Blessed Resilience, apply heal over time, increase max health, stamina. This is really nice for tanks, so definitely try to do this one. Companions, obviously bondings, 2 gold icons of the companion, 1 regal topaz ring of the companion, all empowered runestones in there for more power. Definitely all the heal companions, so I've got the Ironstone of Radiance, Polar Bear, Quickling. Splinters is used for crit severity and crit avoidance, and then the Rebel Mercenary. You also want to do Potent Precision for that crit severity. Again, all about crit severity, so your heals are better. And that's that. The reason I don't have all 5 is because Paladins don't get an extra offense or utility, so we're stuck with only 4 outgoing heal companions, unfortunately. So Splinters is really good. You can farm it in the Halloween event, or you can buy it in the auction house. It's really easy to farm during Halloween if you want to wait. And then Regal Topaz Ring is a rare one you get from Warden Expeditions. And then the gold icons, you just put a couple of characters through Stardock all the way through, and you can just pick these up for free through the boxes. So if you have a lot of characters, it takes 2 characters to get through to get that. So mounts, I use either T-Rex if no one in the party has it, or I'll use Griffin if nobody has it. Like if the tank doesn't have Griffin, I'll use Griffin to protect the party. Or of course T-Rex if no one has one for damage. Bat Swarm, if all those things are covered, then I'll use Bat Swarm. But you definitely want like a Black Ice Warhorse for the 10k power, or Arcane Whirlwind for 10k power. I like the horse because I like horses. I'm using Cavalry's Warning, 2 Gladiator's Guiles, Artificer's Persuasion, and Barbarian's Revelry. I don't know exactly what other pallies are doing. That's just what I'm doing. The speed from Gladiator's Guiles really helps when you need to move because we're kind of slow. So having a couple of those is nice. You get diminished returns on having 2, but at least you have 1 fast one and 1 that's a slightly less, but still you get some speed. Cavalry's Warning to give yourself some power and stuff like that. Barbarian's Revelry, whenever you perform a crit strike, you're healed. So it's nice, especially if you're critting a lot. If you have high crit anyways, which you should if you're a pally, it's not a bad thing. And Artificer's Persuasion, whenever you use an artifact power, your cooldowns are reduced. That's kind of handy too, because cooldowns being reduced is nice. So that's that. So now just to go into the actual applications of things. So if we are healing, we're going to be using Cure Wounds and Valorous Strike. And the reason is, this Cure Wounds, while we're just standing here, is going to proc a couple of things. It's going to proc that crit, and it's going to proc Prayer of Opportunity. And I've already got 2 Prayers of Opportunity under my character name. If you can see that up on the upper left, it's little praying hands times 2. So that's good. You can get up to times 3 of them. And that's that. So it's being really stubborn. So the other thing you can do is you can do prayer shift, shift key block. So, or while you're holding that at will, shift tab, shift tab, shift tab, shift tab. You have to kind of space it, and if you see, I have that beautiful crit shield there. So another pally taught me this trick. I will give him credit, Nonal. So credit to Nonal for this shift tab thing here. So that's what you do, and you see I've got that nice crit shield. So Sacred Weapon. And then we've got Circle of Divinity, and then we just attack. And we're just normally just fighting, and you're going to crit shield. Don't overuse your crit shield, save your divinity. But if you're in a battle and you have another one and you see people need one, just throw it down again. In battle, you're going to also get your Prayer of Opportunities procced. So if I were to, let's say, use all my divinity up, just to show, oops, cooldown, derp. So just to show how to use Prayer of Opportunity. So I'm going to waste all my Divinity. Just going to waste it. Divinity's going down. I'm out of combat, so it's going to come back faster, but I'm going to use all my Divinity. So we use it all. And I have 2 Prayers of Opportunity. See, I'm like done for Divinity there. Tap it, you get some Divinity back. Tap it again, get some Divinity back. That's the tab key that I'm using right there. And then, of course, when you don't have Prayer of Opportunity, you just have to hold it like that to just get your Divinity back. So I use that one because it just, Divine Shelter, because it uses so much Divinity and it would drain me pretty quickly. So yeah, just Sacred Weapon, and then the Circle. I keep forgetting the name of it. Circle of Divinity! You'd think I'd know my own spell names by now. I know pictures. So that's the deal. You know, throw an artifact down there, throw a T-Rex up, whatever. So that's basically it for explaining how to use it. You just gotta practice it. So again, that Cure Wounds, Shift and Tab. It's gonna come up more often to get that crit touch. And you're gonna notice the little sparkly on the bottom when I proc a crit. And that's what you want to watch for. There's another one. See, it's sparkling down there, right down here. So my Divine Touch is going to crit now. Oh, boom. So that's going to be that little blue circle that you've got. I mean, not blue circle. Wow. Blue bar. Hello. So anyway, that's pretty much it. If you have questions, feel free to ask. And I'm going to close out there. That's the Pally Healer Basics. Thank you for watching. Bye!